Page 4. I go for refuge until enlightened to the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations or practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until enlightened to the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations or practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until enlightened to practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Sanye Joda Zoge Chonam La Chanchu Bardo Dane Gyapsuch Dage Jinso Gebe Sonam Ge Chola Benjere Sanye Drupare Sho Sanye Joda Zoge Chonam Chanchu Bardo Dane Gyapsuch Dage Jinso Gebe Sonam Ge Chola Benjere Sanye Drupare Sho Sanye Joda Zoge Chonam La Chancho Bardo Dane Gyapsuch Dage Jinso Gebe Sonam Chola Benjere Sanye Drupare Sho Sanye Joda Zoge Chonam La Chancho Bardo Dane Gyapsuch Dage Jinso Gebe Sonam Chola Benjere Sanye Drupare Sho. Okay, to continue from where we left this morning. This morning we were talking about what? Anyone who can remind me of what we were talking this morning? Four essentials and the first one, identifying the object of negation. Thank you. The essential of identifying the object of negation. Before we go a little more detail into this part, what we did yesterday, we talked about the three levels of dependent origination. We talked about the three levels of dependent origination, and what's the first level of dependent origination? And I gave you full, you give me full. You're getting it. I give full, you give me half. Right? And dependent origination of the results depends on the causes. Thank you. What's the second one? Tomer? Result. Result of whole. Whole, okay. Dependent origination of the whole's dependence on the parts, very good. And number three, anyone raise hands? Number three raise hands. Number three, okay, Peter. Thank you. Dependent origination of dependence on mere mental designation. Good. Of the three, the first one, which is the dependent origination of dependence on the results dependence on causes. This one, we talk about law of karma. Law of karma falls under this category, the first category, law of karma. And the whole universe is operating on the basis of the first level of dependent origination. Operating meaning functioning. Cause and effect, cause and effect, cause and effect. The way and the manner in which physics, Albert Einstein, talks about the physical law which is governed by the cause effect, the principle. And so this is what we need to know. Law of karma falls in this category. And yes, I heard about law of karma so many times. What is law of karma? This may be a question. And this is so important that whatever we're experiencing, joy, sadness, whatever we're experiencing, somehow they are the results given rise to by the previous cause conditions. So the law of karma is not what the Buddha dictated, is not what Buddha invented, this is what Buddha discovered. Let me repeat it. Law of karma is what the Buddha discovered, is not what the Buddha invented. Emptiness, what the Buddha discovered, is not what he invented. Let's not forget it. You getting it? So which means that even before the Buddha existed, the law of karma exists. Even before the Buddha came into existence, Buddha came into being, the law of karma existed, emptiness existed. Way before that, the Buddha only invented these. So, therefore, on this planet Earth, the law of karma was taught by many teachers, even before the Buddha. But the emptiness was taught by the Buddha for the first time on this planet Earth. So with this in mind, the efficacy of the law of karma, that finally say, whatever we're experiencing, they're all related to our previous causes, conditions. And then cause and effect, there are two kinds. Cause and effect, one is the karmic cause and effect. Another one is non-karmic cause and effect. There are two. Non-karmic cause and effect, and one is karmic cause and effect. What is meant by karmic cause and effect? Okay, let's say the different. I'll give you a very simple. Say that. Okay. Say I release this. I lift this pen up, and then I just release it. It falls, and then the pen, will it come back? It will not come back. Whereas if I push the IT staff, if I push him, right, if he wants to challenge me, he can come back. You're getting it? You agree? So there are two things. So why in the case of the pen, it doesn't come back? You are very sure of that, it doesn't come back. Whereas in the case of the IT staff, you push him and then he wants to challenge me, he also comes back. So why in one case that's coming back and the other not coming back? Why? Anyone quick? Huh? The decision, what makes the decision? So with the IT staff, there's a decision-making element there, component there. With the pen, there's no decision-making component there. So what Paul said makes total sense. One, there's no element, there's no decision-making the element inside, whereas for this person, there's a decision-making element. So there's a will there, willpower. Will. Free will is there. So free will, it falls under the category of the intention. So cause and effect, where the intention is involved, is known as karmic cause and effect. Cause and effect, where the intention, mental factor of intentions involved, is known as karmic cause and effect. Where cause and effect without intention involved is the just non-karmic cause and effect, or natural cause and effect, which is non-karmic. And at times, two can overlap. You're getting, it's not that these two are, say, the cleanly divided. They can overlap. They can overlap. For example, let's say that that I speak in this voice, the sound coming, this voice is coming out. This is because intention is involved. So it is part of the law of cause and effect, karma, karmic cause and effect. But I don't have this beautiful, beautiful voice. Beautiful English, the word. Some singers, they have amazing roaring voice, or some girls, they have amazing eloquent voice. I don't have this, right? So somewhere, what do you call it? Voice box, right? Vocal cord, right? So it must be very poor quality, right? So when it moves, it gives a hoarse sound, that's it, right? So this is the cause and effect, it is not karmic. For example, right, and there's no music coming out. This is purely non-karmic, but my hand banging there, this is with the intention. And this table making this noise, talk, not like music, is because non-karmic. It does not have the intention to create this unpleasant noise. Whereas me banging it is with intention. So this is cause and effect, but the karmic cause and effect, whereas the table making this noise, unpleasant noise, it has nothing to do with the karma. You're getting it? So this is one we need to keep in mind. And all experiences that we go through, pleasant, unpleasant, sadness, and so forth, these are all related to the karmic cause and effect. So we can't look for shortcuts. We can't look for shortcuts. We say if you don't want to go through these miseries ourselves in the future, then we have to cut all our undesirable karmas, because karmas are nothing but the action triggered by the intention. Karmas are the actions which are triggered by the intentions. You're getting it? So therefore, we have to engage. We try best. You, me, all of us. Whatever action that we engage in, make sure that our actions can have the two things. One, it can hurt others, harm others. Then, otherwise, it can help others. You have two things. You're getting it? If it harms others, the consequence, this is the karma, with the intention to harm. So the consequence is that we're going to suffer. We're going to suffer. And where the action, it helps others, we're going to experience happiness. This is the law. This is not what the Buddha invented. Buddha discovered this reality. You're getting it? Okay. So with this in mind, in this life, try our best, you, me, all of us. Let us try our best to make sure that we don't injure others as much as possible. Help others. You're getting it? Meanwhile, many questions are there. But if yes, this is what exactly what I've been doing, but then nobody's helping me. I keep helping them, nobody's helping me. So what should I do? All these questions are there. This is known as the skillfulness. Particularly the Mahayana teachings meant for those people who aspire to become Buddha. Mahayana. For those people, one thing which is very important is skillfulness. That quality is something that we must learn how to cultivate and build. Where you are not affected and then others are helped. Usually what we do is that when we go to help others, then others take advantage of your kindness, your compassion, and then you feel disillusioned. I learned from Tushita that we should be kind, and now I'm kind, and that person is taking advantage of me, right? So I should not be becoming kind. This is because of lack of skillfulness. So we have to learn the art of skillfulness, where you go to help, but the other person cannot take advantage of you, advantage of your compassion. This is so important. Oftentimes people talk about compassion fatigue. You're getting it? Compassion fatigue means that I have compassion, and then they say, when I go through difficulties, nobody comes to help me. So this is known as compassion fatigue, and then you give up compassion. So whereas if the skillfulness is added, then you continue to give compassion, but the sense of confidence, sense of courage, and will not disappear. And you see that your joy keeps multiplying. No matter what other person's reaction, your joy keeps multiplying. The more you help others, more happy you become. This is known as the skillful compassion. So it should be part of the law of karma to be introduced with the skillfulness introduced. Then the law of karma can become. You can actually modify the law of karma, not really the principle, but you can create new karmas which are very powerful, very effective, where others benefited and you don't suffer. Instead, your joy multiplies. Okay, this is very important. Now going back to the four essentials, identifying the object of negation. We have to learn how to identify the object of negation so precisely to make sure that the object negation that we identify, it does not fall under the category of the maximalist, redundancy, and minimalist inadequacy. You're getting it? This is so important. And what we learned is that what is the object negation of the emptiness of flower? Then if I say that the flower being independent of the causes and conditions, is that the correct identification of object negation? No, why not? It falls under which problem? Minimalist inadequacy. Okay, so which means that Even if you reject this, it does not entail you having realized emptiness. You getting it? You reject it, still you do not get emptiness. It does not entail realizing emptiness. Simply means in simple English, you have not realized emptiness. You getting it? Whereas if you identify the object negation precisely, then you reject it and you realize instantly you realize emptiness. This is this should be the criteria for you having identified the object negation well. Okay. Now let's say that for the time being, and we can't really imagine that in just one session, 2 sessions, or 3 days, you can identify object negation so precisely. But at least we can attempt. Okay, with this in mind, look at somebody who's around you, look at somebody. Don't keep looking at everybody. Look at only one person. Right? Michael is looking at the person and he's smiling. One of you are smiling. Why are you smiling? I did not ask you to smile. I just asked you to look at that person. That's it. But you're smiling. Why are you smiling? Okay. So, if the smile is genuine and is involuntary smile, 100% the face of the other person appears to you as objectively real, 100%. Right? If the smile is spontaneous and involuntarily the smile comes out. Okay, look at the other person. Don't control your smile. Right? Okay, still you're smiling, which means that particularly if you look at the Oscar, right? It gives you a very genuine smile, right? Oscar, there's the healing effect. Okay. So let's say that when you see the person, involuntary smile comes, no doubt that person appears as objectively real, right? So, which means the person's formed the object. Okay, now think of the same, close your eyes and think of the same person who made you smile. Think of the same person, close your eyes. Oscar, close your eyes and think of the same person who made you, okay. And now open your eyes. Oh, lucky that nobody's smiling now, right? If you smile, it's time for you to go to mental hospital. Lucky that nobody's smiling. Okay. Now tell me, it's the same person. When you look at it with the eyes, involuntarily, the smile comes out. Whereas when you think of the person, mentally, no smile comes out. Why? Anyone? Just yes. Change your energy. What do you mean by that? Yes, then when you think of that, when you're thinking of the person, then when you're not looking at it. Yes, okay, good. Anyone else? Yes. Okay, more the same. No communication cut. Anybody else? Yes. Yeah. Very good. This is what I'm looking for. You're getting it? So when you look at the other person, you get a feeling that other person also looking at you, right? Looking at you, so you should smile, other person will smile at you, right? Okay, whereas when you're imagining, you know that it is your mental creation. You are just creating it. When you just imagine it, you know that this is coming from my mind. I'm just making it. When you know that it's coming from your mind, is subjective or objective? Subjective. So the emotional control is there. You're able to control your emotion, right? And whereas when you look at the other person with your eye contact, then you see the person as objectively real, and your emotional control is lost. You're getting it? It's lost. This is how it happens for cheesecake. Somebody who's crazy after cheesecake or alcohol or whatever, right? You see the object instantly, mouth starts watering. You think of the cheesecake, right? Okay, now don't look at it. Keep the cheesecake away. Think of it, right? It's very boring to think of it. You notice what your mind is creating it. So when you see that you're subjectively you create, you know that when you know that it's subjectively being created, then the sense of control happens. Whereas if you see that as objectively real, control is lost because the remote control is there from the object. So not from the subject doesn't have the control. So the emotions keep erupting. Okay, so with this in mind, let's say that when you see that, when you look at the other person which made you smile, how does the person appear to you? As objectively real or as subjectively real? As objectively real. Okay, so real there. And later on, yes, of course, emptiness, it has various levels of unfolding. Various levels. At one point, even just within few days, you may get a feeling that I'm getting emptiness, right? What I'm seeing is not really there. Then you keep studying, keep reflecting more, study more, interact with other people who are more learned, more experienced, interact with them. Then they'll ask you more questions, and you come to know that there are many nuances to unfold. And then every time more nuances are unfolded, then your experience of emptiness will go deeper, 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 deeper. Say somebody after 10 years can be a little deeper, after 20 years can be even more deeper, and after like 30 years can keep becoming deeper, deeper, deeper. Okay. Words, same. There's no difference. Say after 30 years, say somebody who's very serious into meditation, study, reflection, meditation, emptiness, after 30 years, and somebody who just did the 5 years studies or 2 years studies, and let them talk on emptiness, in the ears of the ordinary audience, we see that these are the same. And particularly if there's somebody who is just 1 year study of emptiness, if that person has some great articulation, right? You may think that this person is more effective, but somebody who experiences emptiness, when they listen to these people, there's a stark difference there. Although the person who spent like 30 years studying reflection meditation could not articulate whatever the person says is very deeply profound. Those people who have the experience could feel it. So one point, what happened was that at the time of the Buddha, there were two men. One was very young, like age maybe 15, 16. The other one's already age 30. Then two of them joined the monastery together. So 30 means already, okay, say, but anybody in 30? I wouldn't say oldish, right? So in comparing with somebody who's 15, he or she is a little older, right? Or so older. Okay. So which means 30 old means 40, 50 like us, very old, right? Okay, so two of them joined the monastery together, and after about 10 years, the younger one, happened to be become very popular. And he had so many students. He was already only about like 25 years, and he had so many students. Another one who joined at the age of 30, and now 40, right? And no students, and then his articulation was missing, and he was not as knowledgeable. And then these two were to meet at one point. Meeting, yes, the younger one was very brilliant, and he had many things to say, articulation, different points of view, and so forth. And the older one, no, nothing really to share. So there's a prospect of the two of them meeting. And during the meeting, there's a likelihood that the younger one would not really abuse, but be contemptuous. Contemptuous meaning? Look down upon the elder. Because the elder was, both of them 10 years, but the elder one didn't learn much. And the young one already became a very famous teacher. So there was that prospect that the younger one can be contemptuous of the elder one. And the Buddha interrupted. Buddha came on the scene. And then the younger one students, they were all there, like 500 students were there, younger one students. And the Buddha asked question to the younger one. And the younger one gave many answers. But then the Buddha asked the precise questions which he never experienced. The younger one did not experience. So the younger one could not give the answer. And the Buddha showed a little bit of not the lack of a little bit of not being satisfied. And the Buddha asked the same question to the elder one. And the elder one gave the answer. And the Buddha praised the elder one a lot. And the students, they were confused. The younger one was way more learned. Elder one was way less learned. But the Buddha praised the elder one and not the younger one. So the students, they asked the Buddha, Venerable Sir, why did you not praise our teacher? Why did you praise the older one who was not really so learned? And the Buddha said, I agree with you that the younger one has learned a lot. Elder one did not really learn as much. But the younger one could not internalize what he learned into experience. Elder one, whatever he learned, less, but whatever he learned, he internalized. I can check that through my questions. I ask how much the person has. My questions are directed in such a way that these can be answered only if you have internalized them. If you not internalize them, you cannot give the answer to these questions. So, therefore, the point is that whatever we learn, just see if you can experience something. Okay. With this in mind, what I'm saying is that the experience of emptiness is just ongoing the studies, reflection, meditation. And if we stop the studies at one point, thinking that I've already studied, now is meditation, your meditation can become extremely rusty at one time. Extremely rusty. Which means that experiences will become hazy, versus the continuous studies, reflection will make your experiences deeper, clearer, deeper, clearer. Okay, this is how we should proceed. Okay, with this in mind, now let's say that the person you have thought about, or you have seen with your eyes, you saw the person's objective real. Okay, this is what we said. Now let's say that is objective negation, objective reality of the person, how you see the person is so disconnected or independent of your thinking. So that is your object negation. So how do we see, so that if that is object negation, we have to negate it. How to negate it? How to negate it? Say what are we trying to negate? Anyone? What are we trying to negate? Okay, for time being, there are so many vocabularies there. Inherent existence, intrinsic existence, objective existence, true existence, independent existence, existence from his own side, his own way. There are so many vocabularies there. But for the time being, let's stick to one vocabulary to make things easy. And then later on, this morning, as I said earlier, that all these vocabularies, don't think that they are just synonymous. Just put them all, club them together, right? Instead, each vocabulary should carry their own weight of the meaning. And they'll all merge to the same point, but they will give a slightly different shade of meaning, which will make you see the nuances of emptiness. That is extremely helpful for us. For the ease of our conversation, and let's use the word objective existence for the time being, right? Okay, let's say with a person that you're that you have seen, we are trying to now see the emptiness of that person. Or let's say, for the time being, for the ease of our conversation, let's say emptiness of the flower, right? Okay. Let's look at the flower first. And how does the flower appear to you? Objectively real or subjectively real? Objectively real. It appears as objectively real. Now, what are we trying to evaluate? If it's real or not, anybody else? What are we trying to evaluate? Whether it exists on its own, whether it exists objectively. You're getting it? What's your name, the lady over there? Maho. So what Maho said is correct. What I am expecting is to you, as I said, told this to the Joel, that for the ease of a conversation, let's use one word. Yes. Okay. So for the time being, for the ease of a conversation, let's use the one word, objective reality. And for you, maybe, to see, I see this is real, right? It makes it's more powerful. For some people, inherent existence is more powerful. For some people, existence on its own way, from his own side is more powerful, right? So your own ways, you can think of, you can use any of the vocabularies, but in this group, we'll just use one word for the ease of a conversation. That's objectivism. We see this flower as objective real. Now we want to evaluate what? Hey, what happened? What are we trying to evaluate? The girl over there, next to the gentleman, your name? Yes. Then next to Terry. Perfect. So we are trying to evaluate if the flower exists as objectively real or if the flower exists as objectively. Okay. Now, if you want to evaluate if this flower exists objectively, what should we do? How should we do? Shula, what should we do? Okay, go closer. Anybody who likes to, be kind to me and give the technical term? Anyone? Yes. And ultimate analysis. What? Ultimate analysis and finish. Subject the flower to ultimate analysis. You're getting it? Subject the flower to ultimate analysis. Okay. So if you say ultimate analysis, then the small children may think that, is it a chocolate? Ultimate analysis is chocolate? Just subject the flower ultimate analysis, then the confusion is resolved. Okay. So how do we evaluate if the flower exists objectively or not? You subject the flower to ultimate analysis. And how do we subject the flower to ultimate analysis? Shila, how do you do that? By going closer towards that. And is there any source, scriptural citations? Which one? Second essential? Or Gabor? Wonderful. So what we are saying is that this girl said that what is meant by subjecting flower to ultimate analysis? We have to go closer towards the object. Why do you think that this going closer to the object is the ultimate analysis? So then the Gabor is citing the source from Arya Nagarjuna, who said that if the mirage, okay, let us all say this together. If the mirage were to be water, why not those close by the mirage see water? That again, if the mirage were to be water, why not those close by the mirage see water? Okay, now we go closer to the object. Closer to the object, right? Closer to the object. And then first we end up seeing the cells. Yes? So there's the house is flower, beautiful, not beautiful. Nice, not nice. Right? People who love flower, they say it's so beautiful, it's so fresh, it's so amazing. Texture is amazing, color combination is amazing. Okay, so it looks so nice, but if you subject the flower to ultimate analysis, you go closer, 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 we end up seeing these cells. Before the cells, look at the texture looks so amazing. But if you go closer through an electron microscope, first we will see like the clay, dry clay crack of the dry clay crack. What's that? These cracks? And when you see the crack, it's nice or not nice? It's not nice. They're cracks. What is this like? These are the cell partitions of these cells. Then you go closer, fine-tune the electron microscope, you see the individual cells. You further fine-tune the electron microscope, then you start to see the nucleus inside. Further fine-tune it, you see the chromosomes. Further fine-tune this, you see the DNA molecules. Further fine-tune this, you will start to see the atoms. You getting it? Okay, stay there. You can go more if you like, but with the modern science, you can go up to what? Atoms or more? You cannot see quarks. Can you see quarks? You cannot see quarks. Quarks are more like experiment, not really experiment, I would say, that they're inferred, more inferred, right? You can see the atoms for the time being. And then you can infer because of the behaviors of these elemental particles, you can infer subtler objects like the quarks, electrons, neutrons, and so forth. You can infer, but you can see. What you can see is, at the moment, is the atoms. Okay, so later on we never know. We can see even the quarks, and even the subtler than that we never know. Okay, so let's say we see the atoms. Now, what we see as a flower, through subjecting the flower to ultimate analysis, we just see a pool of atoms. You getting it? Pool of atoms. Okay, what are we trying to find? Oh, we are trying to find a flower. Yes, flower is there. What are we trying to find? Objectively existent flower, right? Right? Don't make Tracy work too hard. She is, she is trying to say, no flower, objectively existent flower, right? There's a difference between the flower and the objectively existent flower. What's the difference? Right? There's a story, don't forget the story. The story is that there was the old man and the little boy. And the old man told the story of Ramayana, right? Ramayana is all about Ram, right? One Indian god, the god we consider as God, Ram. And he told the story of the Ram for about 1 hour. After the story, right, then the old man was so happy that now my grandson heard the story of Ramayana. And the grandson asked, said, Grandpa, who's Ram? Right? Okay, so after saying object negation, what is negated, objective is negated, and so forth. And finally, what are we trying to look for? We're looking for flower. Right? Not looking for flower. Are we looking for? Objective flower. You're getting it? To see flower, don't use the ultimate analysis. You use conventional analysis. You're getting it? Okay. To look for the flower, if you're looking for flower, don't use ultimate analysis. You use conventional analysis. And we're using ultimate analysis to look for objectively existing flower or objective flower. Okay, we're looking for the objective flower. Now, with this coming too close with ultimate analysis, what we found is we just found a pool of atoms. That's it. Okay, now, the same. You have 2 rooms. You have only 2 rooms. And somebody says that, the thief has went into the room, right? Thief is in your room. You have kept the thief. So how do you prove that there's no thief in your room? So just as, how do you prove that there's no objective flower? Like that, with example, how do you know that there's no thief in the room? How many rooms you have? Only 2 rooms. Right? So what do? You first you bring the police and first open the first room, right? So is there the room, is there thief there? It's empty, no thief there. Okay, good, but maybe in the other room now. Then open the other room. It's also empty, there's no thief there, right? Combine it together, no thief in the first room, no thief in the second room, combined together, you conclude that there's no thief in my rooms. You getting it? There's no thief in my house. Okay. So if the objective flower does exist, there are only 2 possibilities. There are only 2 rooms where you can find the objective existence. objective flower. If it does exist, there are only two possibilities. One is that, first of all, you have to go too close, which means subjecting the flower to ultimate analysis. You go there and you end up seeing the pool of atoms. So one possibility is that you have to come too close to object, now you should be able to find it. You find the atoms. There's one possibility. Now the atoms, are they the flower? They are not flower. Atoms are not beautiful. This flower is so beautiful. You're getting it? It's so beautiful. Atoms not beautiful. Okay, is there anybody who is below 20, below 30? Raise hands. Below 30, raise hands. Below 30? Okay. When you say below 30, they're feeling proud. Right? Because below 30 means we're young. He's asking for the younger ones. They feel a little proud, right? Okay. 31 and above, you're a little sad, I know. Right? You're a little sad, I know. Okay. But what makes you think that the person says 30 or below? Body or the mind? Of course the body, you're getting it? Don't say that, hey, Joel, right? Joel, he would go to the young people's club, teenagers club, and say, I'm young. No, you're in your 30s. No, I'm young, mentally I'm young. Right? Don't say that. Right? Age is purely physical. You're getting it? It's pure on basis of the body. Don't make things complicated. Right? Okay. It's purely body. Okay. So now, do you agree with me that our body is nothing but is made of atoms? You agree or not agree? Okay. Say the atoms, all the atoms which made the body of a young girl, young boy, atoms which made the body of people like us, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, all the atoms are same age. You agree, not agree? All atoms are same age. Hey, the gentleman here, what's your name? Yes. Andreas, do you agree that all the atoms in this world, they are same age? Yes. Good. Which means that you are young or old on the basis of your atoms, on your body, and body is nothing but the atoms. On the atomic level, we're all same age. You agree? Not agree? On the atomic level, we are all same age. There is no one atom older and one atom younger. You're getting it? So older ones are happy now. Right? Can you imagine this? You go on the atomic level, there's no age difference. Age difference dissolves. On the atomic level, gender dissolves. On the atomic level, just think of that person, whatever gender, think of that person on the atomic level. The sense of the gender, it doesn't make any sense. It simply dissolves. You agree? This is extremely powerful practice. Extremely powerful practice. Just try to do it. You're getting it? Okay. So with this, what happens is that they say on the atomic level, the flower dissolves. How do we know that? Say the flower to which you feel so attached to, or the person to whom you feel so attached to. When you go into this ultimate analysis, on the atomic level, say, what are we looking for? You're looking for the objectively existent flower or objectively existent person. And that person dissolves. The flower, objectively existent flower dissolves. Objectively existent person dissolves. So stay in this experience. What happens is that in that experience, when it dissolves, then goosebumps will come on your body. A tinge of fear can come in you. Particularly will relate to somebody who you love so much, or who you respect so much, who you love so much. When the person dissolves in your experience, right, a tinge of fear can come in you. A ticking sensations can flow in your body. Or cold waves can flow through your body. These things can happen. So, when this happens, why this is happening? So, for example, when do you tend to get this feeling? So the hair stand end. When does it happen? When does it happen? Has tend to an end. So like you are like a poor rat put in the water. So the body stands on end. When does it happen? Hey, this girl, what? The ghost, right? Ghost movie, right? Or what is that called? I always tend to forget this. The game where the people try to scare you. What do you call it? Peekaboo. She has so many options. Peekaboo, chupe chupe. That's amazing. Thank you. That's prank. What do you call it? What's the verb form of that? Playing prank? Playing prank, right? Which is that Oscar puts the mask of the demon, right? In the night, he jumps, and right? Then suddenly you think that, oh, there's a ghost there, right? And then your hair stand on end, right? Okay, so that is when you are surprised. When you're shocked, they say you are not expecting this, suddenly something happens. That is when you have a feeling of a shock, some form of shock, then these manifestations like tingling sensation, the fear, all this is manifested. So when you see the person who you love so much, or the flower which is so beautiful, suddenly in this subjective analysis, it disappears, these experiences are reflected, a tinge of fear can come, cold waves can flow through the body, goosebumps can come on the body, tickling sensations come on the skin of the body. These things can happen. If these things do happen, you are very meritorious. It is an indication that you are going in the direction of emptiness. But it does not mean that this is emptiness. You're getting it? You are in the direction of the emptiness. This is so fortunate. If it does not happen, don't worry. Study more, reflect more, and eventually, of course, it is not that easy. It requires a lot of support of the merit accumulation. Merit accumulation is so important. And what is merit accumulation? Again, this is a different story that we have to learn. That support must be there in order to really feel the emptiness. Okay. So with this, now what we do is that what we are saying is that with the flower, we see that there are only two possibilities for the flower to exist objectively. Say how to see objectively existing flower or not is by subjecting flower to ultimate analysis, by going closer to its object. By going closer to the object, what we have seen is a pool of atoms. If the flower does exist objectively, now you have come too close to the object. Now it should be identifiable from the object. From the object, only the atoms are identifiable. So, if the flower does exist objectively, the atoms should be, one possibility is that atoms should be the flower. But atoms are not beautiful. The flower is very beautiful. You're getting it? The flower is very beautiful, which means that what I'm seeing is not the flower. So, number one possibility is ruled out. If you still think that flower exists objectively, another possibility is that if the atoms are not the flower, remove the atoms. Then to see if the flower is hiding behind the atoms. If the flower exists objectively there, remove the atoms, what is left? Nothing is left. So the flower is not to be objectively seen as one with the parts, atoms are the parts, not seen as intrinsically one with the parts, or intrinsically as different from the parts. Different from the parts meaning remove the parts and see if it exists as different from the parts. What is left? Nothing is left there. You getting it? These are the only two possibilities if the flower does exist objectively. You agree? Not agree? These are the only two possibilities. If the flower does exist, these are the only two possibilities. Either the parts should be identified as intrinsically one with the flower, or remove the parts and should be intrinsically different as the flower being left there. And both the possibilities are rejected, which means that from the object, in the first room there's no thief, in the second room there's no thief, combined together, you deduce that, therefore there's no thief in my rooms.
I don't know if there's room for this question now, but I'm very curious to hear if you had teaching experience with blind people and how that is different, the perception of this reality objective
Okay, let us not go too much into this part, but I will address this very directly. In a way, what you're saying is that how we're talking about visual objects, that the flower, the person, face, and so this is all visual. What about the blind people? Can they see emptiness? Answer is yes. So we are lacking, we are so much deprived of many other sense powers. Their sense powers are extremely sophisticated and extremely sensitive, so sophisticated in comparison with ours. Our sense powers, they're being made useless by the eye sense power. Because eye sense power is so powerful that it makes the other senses so weak. But as for them, the smell, the touch, they're extremely sensitive, very sophisticated. You're getting it? So we can think of the emptiness of the touch, emptiness of the smell, emptiness of the thought processes, emptiness of the taste, emptiness of tactility. Yes. Good. Okay. So what we said is that okay, now ready? Let us sit up and do a little bit of meditation on the emptiness with what we have done thus far. So this is going to be the guided meditation on the basis of the 4 essentials. You're getting it? And even the 4 essentials, what we suggest is that we all need to have the 4 essentials, if possible, even the words not missed. Even the words not missed, because that the words play a very important role to give shape to our mind. Ready? Okay. You want to close your eyes, you want to open your eyes, whatever is fine. This is analytical meditation, but if you feel a little drowsy, better open your eyes. You getting it? Okay. Okay, good. So this is going to be guided, and they don't try to correlate with what I'm sharing with you now, with what you have studied before, what you've read before. Don't try to do any sort of trying to make correlations, compare, contrast. Don't do anything. Just follow the instructions and see how much you can invoke the experiences. And if you do want to correlate, you can correlate later, not now. Compare, contrast later, not now. Good? Okay, good. Okay. Let us think of the emptiness of the flower today. Okay. Okay, first, look at this flower. Look at this flower. Make sure that you see this flower very clearly. Okay, don't forget this flower. Don't forget this. Okay, now close your eyes, or you want to open your eyes, whatever. And so basically we are going to employ your mental consciousness, not eye consciousness. Keep it open is fine, keep it closed is fine. Okay. Okay, just think of the same flower which you saw before. How does this flower appear to you? Objective real or subjective real? Of course, objective real. So to see whether the flower exists objectively or subjectively, in other words, to see the emptiness of the flower, we need to following the 4 essentials will be very helpful. The first essential, identify the object of negation. What are we trying to negate here in the context of seeing the emptiness of the flower is the objective flower. So what is the objective flower like? So just visualize this flower and how does this appear as independent of your mind? Yes, so independent of my mind. Okay. If you could see that flower as so independent of mind, and then you identify that this is the meaning of objective existence of the flower existing independent of my mind. If you understand it, if you get it, let's say that it is in lieu of the essential of identifying the object of negation. Okay, next question. So this objectively existent flower, the flower existing independent of mind, is to be this is something, believing in this existence, in this form, is known as self-grasping ignorance of the flower. And how do you know that this is ignorance and not valid mind? For that matter, we need to learn how to evaluate if the flower does exist objectively or not. So, how to evaluate this is by subjecting the flower to ultimate analysis. What do you mean by subjecting the flower to ultimate analysis? By going closer to its object. This is technically referred to as subjecting flower to ultimate analysis. Okay. Now, subjecting flower to ultimate analysis, we go closer to the flower, and going closer, and of course our eyes are so limited, and it does not really have the capacity to go too close. Instead, we can use the help of electron microscope. With that, initially we see otherwise the flower petals which appear as so the perfect in the texture, color combination, so forth. Through this electron microscope, we start to see like the dry clay, cracked dry clay. Okay, so earlier beauty disappeared, and this dry clay, the cracked one, you further tune the electron microscope. You see that these cracks are nothing but the divisions of the cells, boundaries or the borders of the cells, cell membranes. Through further fine-tuning this electron microscope, you see the cells very prominently. Through further fine-tuning this, you see the nucleus inside cytoplasm cell membrane. And focus on the nucleus, you further fine-tune this, you will start to see the chromosomes. It's just like a very, which the NASA company did. NASA company did this, and so there we see that it's like a striped, brownish, very repulsive snake-like structure. And through further fine-tuning the electron microscope, you start to see the DNA molecules. And through further fine-tuning this, we start to see the individual atoms. Okay, just for time you can stay there. What are you seeing? You're seeing a pool of atoms. Okay. Now, subjecting this flower to ultimate analysis, we see just a pool of atoms. You have to come too close to the object now. If the flower does exist objectively, there are two possibilities. One is that what you see as the atoms, they should be identified as objectively as the flower. In other words, the flower and what you've identified as the parts of the flower, the atoms, they should be objectively one. Mean that the parts, the atoms should be identified as flower. This meaning of the flowers, the parts and the flower to be seen as objectively one. But this is not. These are not the flower. Flower is so beautiful. These atoms are not at all beautiful. At all not beautiful. Okay. So the first possibility that the flower exists objectively, the first possibility that the parts should be the flower is ruled out. Objectively, the flower is ruled out. Now, if the parts are not the flower, the second possibility would be that remove the parts to see if the flower exists as intrinsically as different from these parts. Remove the parts. What is left? Nothing is left here. It's just a vacuum. Nothing is left here. Okay, for the first one, if you are very sure that the atoms are not to be identified as the objectively as the intrinsically as the flower, if you're very sure of this, the flower is so beautiful, this atom is not at all beautiful, these are not at all the flower. If you're very sure of this, you have understood this second seal, second essential understanding, the emptiness of the objects, the flower being one with his, intrinsically one with his parts, which are the atoms, which constitute the flower. Now, the second possibility is that the flower, if it does exist objectively, it should exist as intrinsically different from the element, the parts, the atoms. In which case, remove the atoms to see if it exists as objectively as different from the parts. So what is left there? Nothing is left there. It's vacuum. If you're extremely sure that the flower does not exist as intrinsically different from the parts, through this understanding, you've understood the third essential. Essential of understanding the emptiness of objects being intrinsically different from its parts. Now, combining these two understanding, ruling out the two possibilities, neither the parts to be intrinsically identified as the flower, nor is intrinsically different from the parts to be identified as a flower, rules out, until that if these two things are not true, then there's no way that the flower can exist objectively. If you're very sure of this, you understood the fourth essential, and essential understanding is the pervasion, that anything which is empty of intrinsically one with its parts and different from its parts entails the emptiness of objective existence of the flower. Yes. Now, with these background knowledge, tell me, from the object-based of flower, no way to be seen. Stay in this experience for a while. So if you understood that from the object, there's no flower to be identified, if you are very sure of this, this is in lieu of the understanding emptiness of the object existence of the flower. Okay, slowly come out of this practice, come out of this practice meaning you shift your mind from the conventional ultimate analysis to the conventional analysis. Again the flower comes back. When your mind shifts from the ultimate analysis to conventional analysis, the flower comes back. Again go back to ultimate analysis, flower disappears. Come back, come out of this, again the flower comes back. There's constant change in the appearance of something, appearance of a flower. There's no change in the object, but there's a change in appearance. Whatever is a part of this change, this purely appearance, the change is purely happening on the subject level, not on the object level. So anything which is a part of this change should be subjective. So the flower being the part of this change, it comes, goes, comes, goes. So therefore this is purely subjective. So the flower does exist, but purely as like a dream coming from your mind, nothing from the object. Okay, slowly come out of this meditation, come out. Good. Good. Okay. Now we need to fine tune this understanding, fine tune, which means the quality control. What is quality control? Anyone? Hey, what happened? You are still in meditation. Huh? What is meant by quality control? Okay, Oscar? To assure that the product meets the standard. Okay, very good. This is in the Oscar, are you from a corporate world? Yes. The words that you use, the sentences that you use are very technical. Okay, thank you. So, the fine-tuning of our understanding of the emptiness. Okay, for this, we need to know two concepts. The concept of the entities and isolates, number one. Number two, positive phenomena and negative phenomena, right? Okay, first I think we'll do the entities and isolates. Entities and isolates. Isolate. Isolation. Isolates. Entities and isolates, number one. Then number two is the positive and negative phenomena. Okay, these two things, if you don't understand these two things, your understanding of your meditation and emptiness can be very hazy. You getting it? Can be very hazy. And if you understand these two things, it will crystallize your understanding of emptiness. Positive and negative phenomena. Welcome. Ready? Seems like either you're in meditation or you're still in meditation or what? Okay, what's your name? Nick. Nick is the only one who seems to be so vibrant even after meditation. Otherwise, oh, what happens? It's like a deflated balloon. Okay. Ready? Not ready? Okay. Wali is sleepy and saying, ready. Okay. Um, are you sure? Okay, let's say positive and negative phenomena first. That's easier. Say a positive and negative phenomena. Um, First, let's say that say okay, what is in my hand? A flower. What is in my hand? Nothing. Nothing, right? Is a flower? No flower. Absence of flower is there? Yes, absence of flower is there. You getting it? It's not nothing, something is there. Absence of flower is there. Yes, absence of elephant is also, it's not nothing. There's so many things. So many absences are there. Right, Peter? Okay. So many things are there. So don't say this to your family members. They think that you're crazy. You're getting it? And what happened? Our poor Peter went to Tushita and he went crazy. He said that his hand has so many things. Right? His pocket is empty. His pocket has so many things. Purse has so many things, right? Okay. So there's absence of flowers there. You're getting it? Okay. So absence of flower. In my right hand there's a flower. In my left hand there's absence of a flower. How do you recognize? Okay. How do you know that there's a flower in my right hand? Versus, how do you know that there's an absence of flower in my left hand? How do you know this? Michael. Okay, how? Okay. So what Michael's saying that with the flower, there's something to feel. There's something there as well. So there's a flower which says that I am the flower. There's a substance there to tell you that I am the flower. You getting it? Okay. With the absence of flower, there's nothing there to say that I am the absence of flower. So it is only by explicitly negating the presence of the flower that you are said to understand, said to have understood the absence of the flower. You get it? Let me repeat it. So with the flower, there's object there to tell you that I am the flower. You getting it? Yes? But with the absence of flower, there's no object there to tell you that I am the absence of flower. But how do you know that? How I know this is by explicitly negating. Negating, if there's a flower, it should be like this. It is not there. You getting it? If there's a flower, it should be like this, like this, like this. But since that this is not there, so you negate the presence of the flower. So you explicitly negate the presence of the flower, that you say that I saw the absence of the flower. So absence of flower is a negative phenomena, which means that you know the absence of flower by explicitly negating the object of negation. Let me repeat it. What is negative phenomena? Negative phenomena is a phenomena which a mind knows, which a mind cognizes. Cognizes meaning knows. A negative phenomenon is a phenomena which a mind knows by, you have to write all these technical parts also. Don't miss the technical parts, don't make it too simple. Negative phenomena is a phenomena which a mind cognizes through explicitly negating the object of negation. Let me repeat it. Negative phenomena is a phenomena which a mind cognizes through explicitly negating the object of negation. A negative phenomenon is a phenomenon which a mind cognizes through explicitly negating the object of negation. Now the positive phenomena. Positive phenomena is a phenomena which a mind cognizes without explicitly having to negate the object of negation. Without, just replace it without, you're done. Positive phenomena is a phenomena which a mind cognizes without explicitly negating the object of negation. Without explicitly negating the object of negation. Welcome. Okay, now let me ask you some questions and you tell me whether it's positive or negative. I'll throw you some illustrations and you tell me whether it's positive or negative. Okay. There's no tiger in the hall. No tiger in the hall. Positive, negative? Negative phenomena. Okay. Buddhas don't have afflictive and cognitive obscurations. Positive, negative? Buddhas don't have afflictive and cognitive obscurations. Positive, negative? Negative. Don't have. Absence. Okay. And we have full of afflictive and cognitive obscurations. We are rich in afflictive and cognitive obscurations. Positive, negative? Positive. You're getting it? Okay, good. So I thought that it'll take a long time for you to understand. You understand very easily. Particularly with, we are rich in afflictive obscurations. You see this positive phenomena, right? Okay, good. Okay, next. Negative phenomena, again, there are two. Okay, in the first place. So what we learned? What did we learn now? Positive and negative phenomena. So emptiness should always be negative phenomena, not a positive phenomena. You getting it? Here, positive and negative does not have anything to do with what is virtuous, non-virtuous. It's just neutral in the sense of being virtuous, non-virtuous. Neutral. You getting it? Okay. So emptiness is always a negative phenomena. Don't forget it. Next, negative phenomena, there are two kinds. Affirming negative and non-affirming negative. Negative phenomena, there are two kinds. Affirming negative and non-affirming negative. Okay, to note this, I like to check whether you know this or not. Ready? Okay, yeah, if you're writing, continue writing, you finish this and let me know. Finish writing? Good. Okay. Okay, they had say there is a job advertisement. There's a job advertisement and the job is the position of attendant of His Holiness the Dalai Lama. So that you can always see His Holiness every day, right? You're the attendant, particularly serving food for His Holiness, the main attendant of His Holiness. Job advertisement is there. So for that matter, right, so I'm going to interview you to see whether you're competent or not, you are fit for this job or not. How many would like to apply? Raise your hands. Everybody wants to apply. Okay, so I will see, whether you're fit for this. Okay, so you come and ask, okay, if His Holiness the Dharma, so you imagine that you are the attendant of His Holiness already now, and then your job is to serve His Holiness the food, breakfast, lunch, and He does not take dinner. And then if His Holiness tells you that for the breakfast, I don't drink coffee, tell me, what will you serve His Holiness? So now it's very clear for you that His Holiness says that I don't drink coffee. What will you serve? Raise your hands. Don't say anything. Raise hands. Yes. Yes, she will offer hot water. The lady there? Yes. Tea, okay. So hot water, tea. Anyone else with his hand over there? Anything which is not coffee, juice? Okay. Over there. Oh, they're here, Shreya. Okay, so Shreya, you got the job. Because, right, she got the job. She said that, I'll ask His Holiness, what do you like to have? Right? You offer water? He said, who told you that I asked you to have water? Who told you I drink water in the morning? Right? And what's your name, lady over there? Huh? In Peng. So In Peng offers tea, right? Very nice to offer tea. Who told you that I drink tea, right? Right? Whereas Shreya would say, Your Holiness, what do you like to have in the breakfast? No coffee, so what else? What do you like to have? So you have to ask. Because when he saw the information that His Holiness gave you, what is the information that His Holiness gave you? No coffee. No coffee means it just rejects taking coffee and it did not give you any extra information. It does not affirm any other information. You're getting it? Non-affirming. It does not affirm any other information. So therefore, not taking coffee is a non-affirming negative. In the first place, not taking coffee, positive and negative phenomena. Negative. With the negative, does it affirm anything or not affirm anything? So if you're not too sure, ask Shreya, right? She got the correct answer. She knows that it's not affirming. It does not give you any other information. So she asks His Holiness, what do you like to have for preference? Okay, so it's a non-affirming negative. It simply rejects taking coffee, explicitly rejects taking coffee, and it does not affirm anything. His Holiness did not give you any extra information. That is known as non-affirming negative. You getting it? Okay. So let's say that, I said next, I tell you that I am an ordinary person. I'm an ordinary person. I never eat food in the night time. Right? And if you like to give me food, when will you give me food? Huh? So this girl says she's going to give me water. What did you say? Huh? Morning or afternoon, right? Not night, not in the night, but morning or afternoon. Correct, not correct? You agree with this girl? How many agree with this girl? I said that I'm an ordinary person. Ordinary person means that I have to feed on food. I have to survive on food. And yet I never eat in the night time. So if you want to offer food, give food to me, when will you give me food? Morning or afternoon? You agree? Okay, good. No? Oh, yes. No, I'm an ordinary person. So, so you want to give me food. Right? You want to give me food, and then they say if of the two possibilities, night or the non-night, when will you give me food? At the daytime. Or when you're hungry, right? I'm hungry. Yes. Okay, so other than the night time. But I did not tell you explicitly, I did not tell you that I eat in the daytime. I did not say this. But you got the information. Implicitly you got the information that I eat in the daytime. Why? Because I'm an ordinary person. I'm not like, the yogi who can fly in the air, no food, right? I'm an ordinary person, which means I feed on food. And yet I never eat in the daytime, which means that I must be eating in the, no, I don't eat in the nighttime. I eat in the daytime. This is implicitly the expressed, implicit connotation. So therefore this is what is affirmed. Although I did not verbally say this, it affirms that I eat in the daytime. You getting it? So this is known as affirming negative. Yes, Shreya? There can be many options, right? There can be many options. For example, like say I have something. I'm not telling lies. I have something in my pocket, but it is not a flower, right? It can be a key, it can be a chocolate, it can be a scarf, it can be a pen, it can be a card. There are multiple choices there. So you can say that it is something other than the flower. You're getting it? It is something. But when I say I don't drink coffee, it doesn't mean that I'm doing something. You're getting it? Many people, so this is one thing that I have experienced. Say, when people come to meet me at the office, I offer tea. I said, no, I don't drink tea. Some juice, I don't drink juice. Then some water, I don't drink water. Yeah, there's some people, they don't do anything. You're getting it? It's not something. Whereas I said, I have something. I have something, but it's not flower. So something other than flower is inferred. What is that something? It can be anything. There are many options, right? Okay, so emptiness is a positive phenomenon, negative phenomenon. Negative phenomenon. And of the two negatives, what two negatives? Affirming negative and non-affirming negative. Of the two negatives, emptiness is always non-affirming negative. Let me repeat it. Emptiness is always non-affirming negative. Okay, Wali.
If you ask me, do you want to have tea in your office? I say, no, thank you. I want to drink nothing.
I want you doing nothing. This in a way saying that I don't drink anything. That's perfect. This is non-affirming negative. Yes.
Even though it has been affirmed that I don't want to drink anything. But
No, this is not affirmed. You affirm, what you said is that I don't drink anything. Drinking something is rejected. Right? Yeah. Okay. So, emptiness is always positive or negative phenomena? Negative phenomena. Within negative, it is always non-affirming negative. You getting it? Okay. Now, the how many you are happy with this thus far? Raise hands. How many happy with thus far? Raise hands. Okay, good. If you're happy, I'll ask you a question. Right? Okay. What does it mean by emptiness? Empty of objective existence. You getting it? When you say empty of the flower is empty of objective existence, automatically subjective existence inferred. Yes, no. Yes. So, subjective existence affirmed. It's not just rejection of objective existence, subjective existence affirmed. So it should be affirming negative, not affirming negative. And you said you're happy. You're happy that emptiness is not affirming negative. So this is my question to you. You're getting it? We stop here. Tiyatha Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasam Gati Bodhisvatyatam Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasam Gati Bodhisvatyatam Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasam Gati Bodhisvaha. Okay, final dedication prayer. Dedication page 52. I dedicate the merit thus gathered towards the realization of the deeds and the prayers of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of 3 times, and to the upholding of the doctrine, scripture, and insight. May I in all lives, through the force of this merit, never separate from the 4 wheels of the Mahayana vehicle, and accomplish all the stages of the path, renunciation, bodhicitta, perfect in the 2 stages. From my 2 collections, vast the space that I've amassed from working with effort in this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds, wisdom, eyes blinded by ignorance. Three prostrations together. tomorrow morning, quarter to 6 or 6:45. 6:45. 6:45. Huh? Venukumpela? Okay. 6:45 or quarter to 6? Okay, seems like there's a split of the views. No middle way, only two options. Yes, there's middle way, but it's the two options. These are two middle ways. Okay, let's say tomorrow, quarter to 6, 5:45 tomorrow. Then day after tomorrow, we'll take a short break, meaning that day after tomorrow. Okay, let's decide day after tomorrow. Day after tomorrow, what to do? Let's decide tomorrow. Tomorrow, let's do quarter to 6. Yeah, I can see that there are some who are really keen on this. It's very precious. And those of you who feel that it's a little tiring, you can take rest. Yeah. Okay.